You're listening to The Crypt, and today's very special guest is rock legend Suzi Quatro. After 55 years in the business, she is still rocking those leathers and has released a brand new album called No Control. So thanks so much for joining me today, Suzi.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, you wrote this album with your son Richard, so can you tell me how that collaboration came about?
Well, I always say this album was an accident. Richard is a good guitar player. He's been in bands and everything, and he's always wanted to write stuff with me, always. And I don't know, I just didn't go there in my head, And finally, he came to me about 6 months ago, and he said, "I need to write with you now." To me, that he was ready.
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, what you got?" Basically, I'm trying to make it because it's such a long story. He played me a riff, which became "Don't Do Me Wrong." Gave me a little riff idea, and I said, "I like that. I can work with that." So I worked with it. It became a song. We did another one. I think Bassline came next. And by the time we were doing the third one in the studio, we made demos with the drum machine. We're just having fun. By the time the third song was written, I turned to Richard and I said, "This is serious."
Yeah.
Making an album, he said, "I know." And all of a sudden, it got serious. I don't know how it happened. All of a sudden, I had a record deal. And I said to Richard at that point, when I knew it was serious, I said, "Right, here's what I got to say. Whatever this album is, this album is. I don't want to push a song out. I don't want to try to write in any direction. I want everything to happen natural and organic." We didn't push one song.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is why there's such a variety. So whatever came out, it came out.
Well, that's the best way to do it, really, isn't it?
I think so. And like I said, it was an accident. It was serious then. And the great thing is that I produced myself. And I've never done that before. And I was out there doing my first vocal, waiting for somebody to press down the button and say, "Oh, could you try this, this, or this?" Nobody said anything. I went, "Oh my God, I'm on my own." That's great. That's great. So I was creatively very free on this album, which is what the critics are reacting to. They're reacting to the variety, the organicness of it,
Yeah.
In this climate of today's music, there's nothing organic anymore, is there? Not really.
Oh, no.
Auto-tune, you've got all these different things on people's voices, and it's, this is a real album.
And your voice is still quite strong.
I'm singing better than I've ever sung, and I don't want to question it in case I jinx it, but a lot of people start to lose their vocal powers as they get older, and mine has improved, so I don't get it.
I love that kind of grit sound in your voice.
Yeah, I've always sung properly. I mean, that comes from years ago when I first started when I was 14 and 15. That's how I got my training. You would do 5 shows a night, you know?
Yeah.
You maybe lose your voice, and then you work out why you've lost it, and then you work out how to sing properly and everything, which I've done through the years, and I don't lose my voice if I get a throat infection or something, yes. But other than that, I got a very, very loud, strong voice.
And then how would you describe the sound of this album?
It's definitely Suzi Quatro all the way through. Richard actually pushed my Suzi Quatro button big time. He went, "This is what we should be doing." And he pushed me, and I reacted, threw me in different directions that I normally write in. It's back to the original energy and attitude that I always had, as you can see by the cover. So that's definitely me, but it's kind of, for me, I've been around the block and back again. Here I am with the same attitude and energy, but with everything I've gathered on the way. This is what it sounds like to me.
Could you talk about the process of naming the album No Control? Was that always going to be the name, or did you go through a few different names?
Oh my God, now that's another funny story. I was sitting out writing with Richard, because we did a lot of stuff on the patio, because it was a beautiful summer, and he was over every day. We had pen, paper, little iPad recorder, and my bass and his guitar, and we were sitting out there, and he said, "Oh God," he said, "I'm so excited, this creative process. I'm just buzzing. I said, "I can teach you to fly."
Oh.
We both went, "Ah!" So that was going to be the title. It is one of the songs on the album. Then, when I chose the picture for the album cover, it didn't suit whatsoever, that title.
Yeah.
But oh God, what am I going to call it? My husband said, what about a one-word title? Like a lot of the biggest albums, like Rumors, Bad, all this kind of stuff, they're one word. And I thought, oh, Leather. And then I went, no. My son called me. I was in Miami, and he said, no. And I thought, no, he's right. That's not right either. And the first track was going to be No Soul, No Control. And I thought, you know what? Nobody told me what to do on this album, so I'm going to call it No Control.
God, that was really the perfect name,
sense.
wasn't it?
That suits the album, that suits the picture. So it went through two things before I settled.
And then had you guys many creative differences while making the album?
There was 2 or 3 times that we butted heads, which, that's going to happen when you're doing something like that, of course. One of them was that same song, I Can Teach You to Fly. I had taken the chorus and made it very hippie-trippy and taken the drum beat out. So I broke the tempo and then came back to the tempo. And Richard got quite annoyed. He called me and he said, you can't do that song like that. It's wrong. Every time I come to it, I flick it to the next track. And I was a little bit annoyed at him for speaking like that. But then I went and I listened in my front room. I had to call him back and say, you are correct. You are correct. So I took it back into the tempo. And there was a couple little bits and pieces. We argued about the bonus tracks. Wanted to do Hey Joe. He didn't want to do it, so we settled on Leopard Skin Pillbox Hat. And the other interesting thing, I don't know if you've got the vinyl there, but there's a track on the vinyl called Heart on the Line that I wrote.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the best songs I've ever written. And I kept wanting to make power chords and this, that, and all the way through. When I was showing it to Rich, he kept saying, no. I said, what do you mean no? He said, you playing it on the guitar and singing it is absolutely beautiful. And I didn't get it. So I put my guitar down, and he said, Mom, do me a favor, go in and sing the song now. So I sung the proper vocal. I was in tears singing it because it means so much to me, that song.
Yeah.
And he said, now come back in, sit down, and listen. So came the song with just guitar and me singing, and I said, oh, you're right. It had a charm. By itself, you don't need anything else.
And then did it take you long to make the album? How long from start to finish?
Probably about two months, maybe three at the absolute maximum. It didn't take long. I got a great studio around the corner. I worked very well with the guys, quick, and it didn't take long at all. I did all the BVs, and then I got my girls in to add, and it didn't take long. It kind of ran like an express train once it was going.
Yeah, and the fact that you were in control of everything, I'd say that would have moved it faster.
I think so. I didn't, I said to my husband that I was surprised how well I can produce. In fact, I sent the tracks to Mike Chapman, my original producer and everything and songwriter. And I didn't tell him I produced because I wanted his honest reaction, and maybe he would have a different reaction had I told him that. So I said nothing. And he wrote me back and he said, great production. I went, oh my God, that's coming from Mike.
Yeah, I'd say that felt fantastic.
Wonderful. How wonderful. Yeah. So I didn't know I could do it. And my husband said to me, why didn't you think you could do it? When you're rehearsing and everything and you're doing what you do, you're always telling everybody what to do. Yeah, I guess it's because I've always had a producer, so then you just take it for granted that you need a producer, and I will continue down this path. I like producing myself.
Excellent. Well then, listening to the album, the song I kept coming back to that I loved was Macho Man. So can you talk a bit about that particular track?
I'll tell you what makes me laugh? Women love that track. I think I must speak to women who have known these kind of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one girl I was talking to, she went, take your ego trip and fly it away. She really meant it. I said, boy, you've known a few in your life. Yeah. It's a really good track. Richard played me the riff. And I went, oh, that's Macho Man. That's just what it was. And I've known a few in my life. And the funny thing is I like Macho Man only if it is balanced by sensitivity. You can have both. You can have a strong man who's also sensitive. And I feel sorry for the macho man that I'm talking about in this song because he's a victim of his macho-ness. He can't get out.
So it's kind of really based on numerous people you've met in your life rather than just one particular person.
It's based on a few different people, and I've seen them through the years, and I've kind of gone, oh, it's like, with that little Mr. Universe pose, which way to the beach, kicking sand in people's faces,
Yeah.
I don't like that kind of guy very much. Like I said, I do have a pity for him, but you're not going to be in my life for 5 minutes. Not for 5 minutes.
Then another song I want to look at is No Soul, No Control. Now, I love the line in that song, I've got to hold on to me, because that's what you've always done throughout your career. You were always you.
Yeah, well done on that. You got that. Yes, that's exactly. And when I do that live, that's the line I really mean, I got to hold on to me. This is my message to the world. This is my personal mantra. No matter what everybody throws you, you got to hold. That's all you got. All you got is you. Don't let the world change you.
It's so true. And nowadays, that's the big problem. Everyone's manufactured. You don't see Suzi Quatros anymore.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Thank God I did it, though. Thank God I stood up for me, I agree with what you're saying. That's totally true. There were many times I could have fallen by the wayside and become somebody different. But I just always had this in me that I had to stay true to me. Wish more people had that. I gave my speech, when I got my doctoral award. I'm honorary doctor of music. I got it at Cambridge. And I got up to speak, and I was in tears. But I said the whole point of this life, this journey, is to find that little light in yourself, whatever it might be, and let nobody switch it off. And that's an important lesson in life. Who else can you be but who you are?
Exactly, and it's a beautiful message. If you look at the likes of Beyonce, she says, when I go on stage, I become Sasha Fierce. Well, what kind of message is that? That's saying, for people to like you, you have to be somebody else.
No, that's not right. You know what? It's a little bit of a double edge. I do have two sides, obviously. Suzi Quatro is my public performing side. It's a big, huge part of me. And I have little Suzi from Detroit, and I do try not to mix it up. I don't take my ego off the stage. I leave the performance as the performance. I don't become somebody different.
Yeah,
that's that public side of me. But it's all part of me. I mean, it should be natural.
That's it. It's
you
still
be who
you.
You are. I don't want to be anybody else but me. And if you don't like it, don't come see me.
Exactly. Well, I have to ask you as well, since this interview's for Irish radio, what was it like touring with one of our own legends, Thin Lizzy?
Right. That was great. God, it was so long ago. That was 1972, and I hadn't had any hits yet. And Mickey Mose, too, was who used to be Animals. Chaz Chandler was the bass player and managing Slade, and Mickey asked if he would let me be the opening act. So I had 15 minutes, then it was Thin Lizzy, and then Slade. We did a whole long tour together, so we got to know each other very well. Nice man. I just did a big bit for his documentary that's coming out. Good bass player. Nice guy. He was actually quite quiet off the stage.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to watch out for that documentary.
I don't know when it's coming out, but I did do some footage for it. I don't know when it's coming. I filmed for them about maybe January. So I'm sure you'll hear about it because it was quite a big documentary, and it will be out soon. But I don't know what it's called. It's just about filming it. Well,
before I let you go, Suzi, I have to ask you, what is your favourite song of all time to perform on stage?
Well, I mean, of my hits, I have to say Devil Gate Drive is always a joy because of the reaction. The crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
Enjoy it on that level. I love singing, If You Can't Get Me Love. But my favorite performance song has now become Hard On because I do a show. So I do an unplugged at the end of all this crazy rock and roll, and I do that. And people are in tears. It's quite something. It's quite moving.
Well, Suzi, I'm wishing you the best of luck with this album. I really like it, and I can't recommend it enough to people. And it's fantastic work, and well done on producing it.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.